Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time. We are finally done with Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, this is just a brief summary, and overall, at the end of the video, there is something important I will like to say. And most importantly, hope you have fun. Stay around. And if you haven't seen the previous videos, this is just my overall understanding of Kingdom Hearts lore, why so many people love it, and why I really love and enjoy the second game of the series. It's But moving forward, we see Xehanort, Terra-possessed body. There's like a whole story back in Birth by Sleep. I'll explain more. If you want to check out those videos, highly recommend. I go for it. But no, this is just Xehanort taking over Terra's body from Birth by Sleep, very beginning of the timeline. But from here, we see these two Organization XIII team members talking, being like, yo, man, he's always in that room talking to somebody. I guess it's somebody he knows back in his past. And it's referring back to Aqua and Ventus, which is very tragic. If you ever played Birth by Sleep, man, I played that first in the timeline. It's just depressing, dude. Oh my goodness. But now moving forward, we see another Organization XIII team member, Sora, Mickey, and Donald, and Goofy as well, all encounter him. But primarily, we had to ditch Mickey because, hey man, we got to look for Kairi and Riku. But most importantly, we need to help out Cloud, Tifa, Yuffie, Aerith, and Sid. Man, we got to help out the Final Fantasy crew, but mainly it's just a boss fight where you have to fight his little water statues. Mainly spam triangle as much as you can, wail on him, dodge his water moves. Kind of very simple. And as you can see here, I got introduced to Dark Sora, which is very annoying. I understand he has more, combat, he has more moves, he has more, combos to spam, but man, it's so difficult just, using this character. I understand it's like the whole premise of like, man, if he envelops himself too much in the darkness, he becomes this creature, which is totally cool, very nice in the lore and in concept. But man, it is difficult to play around because you can't use magic. No, you can't use like the your action or your quick time event key. You can't use any of that. You got to very much like dodge when you can dodge, or just run out the way and then just attack and spam as much as you can. Because that's what I did here, and it was difficult because I kept getting that every time for the most part, and I couldn't restore my health and HP. It was just, I'm stuck like this in it. But as you can see here, Mickey introduced himself being like, yo man, what happened? But then Goofy comes out to top ropes saving Mickey, bro. And I gotta say, he gets knocked unconscious, and I in my head I'm like, there's no way he's gone. Like they're like trying to play it as like, oh man, he's not responding, he's not getting up. Dude, Goofy took hits from Ursula, from Cerberus. What are we talking about? Now granted, it's his shield, but at the same time, he's taken heavier hitters, bro. He's taken hits from Sephiroth canonically. But no, he's actually just gone, and like this pisses off Mickey, to be fair, because this is your oldest buddy. And the drip is immaculate, very reminiscent of Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora's outfit. The drip's dripping, man. They call him Mickey Mouse the Drip House, okay? I'm sorry, forgive me. Please subscribe. Please like this, man. But no, like from here we move forward. Donald goes berserk, and we venture forward. Now I did pause and like actually look at my items and abilities. Dude, he's actually gone. Like all his items were returned back to Sora. He's just gone for like the rest of the party, and I'm like, dude, no way. Like he's missing out on XP. He's missing out on so much stuff. Now, not to like make fun of the whole situation, but I'm like, dude, they actually did this in like development. Man, that's brutal, dude. But it's very sentimental. It's like, dang, we lost our closest ally. But here we're fighting with different Final Fantasy characters from Tifa, Cloud, Yuffie. I would say Aerith, but I don't know what she's doing with her bow staff. She's very much a pacifist healer. But once we're done teaming up with all these amazing Final Fantasy characters, we move forward, catching up with Mickey. Now, he is alive, so no need to worry. But from here we see a flashback of Mickey talking to Ansem the Wise and his nobody, his apprentice. And they're just mingling, talking to each other, being like, hey, Amy, I got this big research. I need help with this. And it's like, I don't think it's a good idea. It's like, nah, it's a good idea, man. We're going to study Kingdom Hearts. And it's very much like, you're setting up the red flags. This isn't good. But from here, we battle an army. And so it is the single-handedly best part of a hack and slash where you're just going at it, bro. You're attacking enemies, you're using enemies, abilities, you're using your little quick time events. It's just, a lot of stuff that you can do using different spells, different Valor forms, having a lot of fun with it. I personally had a lot of fun with it, just defeating 1,000 enemies, which, hey man, what's it called? Power scalers. Enjoy that one. But for me, it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. But due to the overwhelming forces of the enemies here, we have to retreat, fall back, but we have to catch up with the other Organization 13 member with the blue hair. I forgot his name, but I think his name's Leah. So we catch up with Leah. From here, he's like, hey man, end of the road. Your friend Axel, he's betrayed us, so we're gonna talk it out, you and I. Just give up your key. If you really want to, save Kyrie, just grovel at your feet. And Sora does. Like, come on, bro. You're the Keyblade wielder. What are we doing? But no, he grovels at his feet saying, please.
So you really do care for her. In that case, the answer's no.
Like, dude, he's evil. What do you expect, man? He's not going to play nice. But no, from here, he summons more darkness enemies. And then he goes on a monologue saying, for every darkness you defeat, every, shadow creature you defeat, it's only going to power up the Kingdom Hearts even more. It's going to restore Kingdom Hearts. And so we've been killing and slaughtering a bunch of just heartless creatures to fill up a massive heart for the main villain, which is kind of cool at the same time. Very, like, dang, I've been helping him out for the longest time. But no, from here, he's like, all right, summons more enemies, but we get surrounded. We have to defend ourselves. Then Maleficent comes in and saves us?
While I keep these creatures at bay, you devise a way to vanquish them forever.
Maleficent.
Do not misunderstand me. I shall have my revenge on you yet.
Which I gotta say, that's pretty cool and dope of her to do that. And then from here, she also drags us into the darkness, which pretty cool. We also get saved by this other hooded dude from Organization 13, which happens to be Riku. If you can kind of look between the lines of it, if you haven't played 358/2, it's a pretty nice little detail. He gives us a box, has an ice cream, which I'm surprised it hasn't melted, but that's Kingdom Hearts for you, in a photo of the three main casts from Twilight Town, and most importantly, Roxas. Kind of insinuating that they're both the same person if you haven't caught that already.
Name just popped into my head. This is Roxas.
Are you sure you want to eat that?
Salty? No, sweet.
Not yet. I gotta look for Kyrie.
Now, in this part of the game, you are primarily just cleaning up worlds, making sure all the bosses are defeated, make sure everything is nice and restored, because it's important for the end game. And most importantly, you get to fight creepy and also pretty decent bosses. I only dislike 2 of them. You'll see why later. But from here, we go on to the Land of Dragons. Primarily in this one, you're just going around the entire map, finding more clues, finding, oh my goodness, Mulan's been following Organization 13. And we kind of interfered with that, but we encountered this massive flying darkness creature, if not just call it a dragon. So our mission here is just defeat the dragon. We save the world, we lock it up, and then we move on to Beast World, which is, Beauty and the Beast. From here, we defeat an Organization 13 member with spears. I don't like him at all, but his boss fight wasn't too bad. It just took me a minute to learn, but primarily it's just you learn his ability, you jump on him, you wail on him, you jump again, you wail on him. It's pretty rinse repeat. But we go into Hercules, and this world is primarily a tournament bracket, and you're trying to figure out, why is Euron teaming up with Hades? Come to find out, Hades is using him like a puppet, literally, because he has like a voodoo doll of him, and then just manipulating, being like, hey man, if you want your soul, just like teetering him and like teasing him, being like, you gotta do what I say, man. Participate in the tournament. If you kill Hercules, I'll give you back your soul, man. Which I don't know how true that is in Greek mythology. I gotta reread it again to see how true that is. But no, from here, just we get in a tournament with Hercules. We're running the gauntlet. Now we do have to part ways and try to figure out, hey, how do we get Euron's heart or soul back? And we do that by espionage. Basically, we just break into Hercules' entire fortress and castle and domain and just steal it. And you're probably wondering as well, what are these floating orbs? Most importantly, they are digital battles or data battles if you want to get really specific, because I know how Kingdom Hearts fans are. Most importantly, these are the battles that you face in the worst Kingdom Hearts game that Sora kind of remembers, but at the same time doesn't fully remember, so you're just fighting them again. And like I said, these bosses are difficult. I had a struggle against the Scythe dude, which I despise to this day, and the dude with like the power boost, but you'll see more of that later. Primarily, this one right here focuses on books. Just beat them up. Make sure you don't get hit by the book spell. But if you do get hit by the book spell, make sure you try to use your command keys and try to exit out of there as fast as you can. Because if you don't, you kind of just die. There's just an insta KO where there's 3 spotlights. If you don't guess which one it is, you just insta die, depending on what kind of items you have and how much HP and defense you have. But overall, it's a nightmare. I despise this boss only because of that little section area, which was super annoying. But from here, not that bad. We defeat Hades, get Euron's soul back, which is technically just a doll, but from here, pretty good world. I gotta say, a good 9 out of 10. And next up is Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't really like this world all too much. The premise of it is basically, all right, you remember the movie where he lost the gold coins and he needed to get the medallions back? Do that again, but this time it's all scattered about. And you gotta find specific enemies for it. Cool. I prefer the data battle. All right, let's be real. It was pretty difficult, not gonna lie. All right, I did struggle like 3 to 4 times, but I played the data battle during the Jack Sparrow story to see and get a grasp of how difficult these bosses were. They were fairly difficult, I will say, but now I'm more stacked. I got better equipment, better items, a better Keyblade. Pretty simple. From here, there is a boss battle at the end of the world where you're very much defeating the enemy. You need exactly 882 coins inside the chest. If not, you can't do any damage. He is susceptible to spells. The darkness creature is susceptible to spells like ice specifically, so spam that as much as you want. But from here, pretty good world boss wise, but story and premise wise, kind of lame. Now, I do like the premise of Aladdin's world. Now, the flying carpet is pretty cool. At the same time, was a bit tricky because I was so used to the swimming mechanics back in Kingdom Hearts 1, which they massively revamped it. I'm not going to talk about what's her name, Ariel's world, because I'm not going to do that until, okay, long story short, you do a musical, come back when you have better items, or come back when you're fully stacked with the right items, and then do the musical. It's a nothing world, nothing of importance. You can do it in like 10, 15 minutes if you're really trying. Okay. There's also a data battle in Aladdin's world, which I did not touch until very much later into the game because I was getting brutalized in that at my current level 40 Aladdin world. But from here, magic carpet ride, go into this abandoned city-ish area, town, whatever you want to call it, right? From here, go inside this clock tower. You realize, oh my goodness, we've been manipulated, scammed, bamboozled by the bird. We should have just cooked them up and eat them, all right? But from here, go back to, I forget the name of it, but Aladdin City or Princess Jasmine's city, and do a giant boss battle against Genie Jafar. I gotta say, it's pretty cool, but I got annoyed at the fact that I was almost done beating him, and I totally forgot that one of the steps is that you either need to hit boss enemies with a spell or you need to finish a combo on him. And I came very close to dying, and I damn near shitted myself because I'm like, there's no way I'm about to lose this fight because I couldn't hit an auto, and I forgot that I could use spells on literally a sliver of HP. Just one hit. One hit would have killed him, but I needed to finish it off with a combo. Like, come on, bro. What am I doing? But now it was overall pretty fun. The flying carpet, it's a little tricky. I didn't like it that much, but I'm not going to, complain too much about it. A lot better than swim mechanics overall, but I would say a good 7 out of 10 to be nice and a good 6 out of 10 for Ariel's world. I know you guys are saying, oh my goodness, he's so bad at the game, but he will not sit still for 3 seconds for me to combo him. And I totally forgot about the spells, right? With 3 more worlds to go before we go into the finale of the game, we stop by Jack Skellington's world, the Night Before Christmas one, and primarily we're following the professor's or the mad scientist's experiment. Why is he stealing gifts? To be giftful, thankful? I don't know. I totally forgot. I was like half asleep playing this because I was like, man, I want to play more, but I need rest. I'm having a lot of fun, but I need rest. And then it's just that whole cycle of like, man, I'm just having a lot of fun with the game, man. Boss fight took me 3 attempts. Super simple. Primarily, you are defeating it, and then it's going to disassemble. You knock it around to different objects of its own body. It does damage to itself, and then yeah, it's pretty much it. From here, we see Santa Claus being like, "All right, thank you for your gifts. Thank you for helping me out." Most importantly, we see him fly overhead, where Jack Skellington's like, "Yeah, I wanted to deliver presents, but you know what? It's fine. But hey, one day, am I right?" Also, I just noticed this while playing back in Jack Skellington's world that Sora's little mask thing changes. So there's different options, such as the basic one, the Veiler form, the Wisdom form, the Limit form, as well as the Master form, Final form, and Anti form. Pretty cool overall. As we follow up with Pride Lands. Now, mainly Simba's having nightmares about Scar being like, "Oh, you you could have done more. Oh man, you're not a true king. A true king would have saved us by now." It's like, bro, it's gonna take a minute to save the Pride Lands. All right, let's be real. You gotta restore the environment because it's ruined and decaying. It's not your fault, Simba. But no, the ghost of Scar keeps appearing. It's like, taunting and haunting him. We get the monkey. It's like, all right, we can solve this. Just we need Simba to like negotiate. And then you have this big old boss battle. I gotta say, pretty fun overall. I would give it a 8 out of 10. And for Jack Skellington, a good 7 out of 10. Not too difficult, kind of very simple and clean, I would say, for that world. And then we move on to Tron. Now, I like it a lot. I like the atmosphere. I'm a big sucker for Tron, okay? I am going to glaze it a little bit, but I will be fair and give it a 9 out of 10. All right, let's be real. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10. Mainly, you are defeating the computer mastermind or the master control program, MCP, and his right-hand man, Sark. He gets super big. You have to team up with Tron to use his ultimate move, which is the disc, which I love it because it's just like in the Tron Legacy movie in 2010. Nice. I will say the only thing that did give me an issue was the parasailing, but it just took me like 1 attempt, and I was pretty much just being a little pansy about it. Not gonna lie. But from here we move on to 100 Acre Forest, completing that out because we found all the torn pages, and I gotta say, it's very sweet. Pooh remembers Sora near the end of this like entire cave section where she had to team up with all like little buddies and animals together, and then yeah, it's just like, oh man, it's very sweet and sincere. But we have to go into the main plot, and that is going into the darkness to defeat Roxas. But before that, we run into Axel. We had to go back to Twilight Town. We go through this magical portal to the darkness. Axel catches us being like, "Hey man, we haven't finished our conversation. Sorry about Kyrie, but like, let me help you out." Defeats all like the surrounding darkness enemies, and then just disappears. Like he just vanishes. He ups and kaputs. He's just gone forever, which is very sad. It makes me like, dang, all right. He's just so a lingering spirit, if you will. And as we walk through the portal, we realize, this is very familiar to the secret cutscene you can get in Kingdom Hearts 1 and also 358 when you're fighting Riku. And it's just given a title, The World That Never Was. And it's just sad. If you play 358 over 2 or watch the video or the movie for it, it's just, this is all fake. All of it's fake. None of it is real. And then you encounter Roxas, and you know it's Roxas because he wields the 2 keyblades as he's fighting Riku in the secret ending, as well as in 358, as well as in. It's just such a sad fight, man, because you have the music playing in the background, and it's just you're fighting against Organization XIII, but Sora doesn't realize that Roxas is fighting for his own individuality, and it's heartbreaking. And now the boss fight itself, it's really good. It took me about 15 attempts. I got my ass beat. So many combos, so many different styles, but I didn't even realize you can do a quick time event until like the 3rd attempt, because I was like, why is my game slowing down? And I realized like the commands are just like scrolling through, and you got to pick the right one. They do the same thing with like these samurai enemies, but man, it's just so cool. At the same time, it's like if you time it just right, you unlock your master form apparently, and then you can just very much mollywop him, and then it's simple as that. But nah, just the music in the background. I'm gonna play some of it. If it gets copyrighted, oh well. All right, who cares? It's just a good boss battle.
Yeah, take this. This is it. Give me strength. It's over. Take this. This is it. Heal. This is it.
I see. That's why. What?
Not gonna lie, rewatching this, I realized how kind of dirty that move was by Sora. Now, to be fair, it's like life or death, but I'm like, dang, dude, that's just brutal. Just cleaves him in two. But no, from here he just fades away, and we go back to Donald and Goofy. We also catch up with the remaining Organization 13 members, and it's not looking good, as well as seeing Kairi interacting with Namine. Namine coming in, saving her with Pluto, not to mention the fact that they look very similar. I wonder if, when I was playing, I was like, are they like one of the same? Like, this is Kairi's nobody in a sense. I don't know. I might be wrong, but let me know down in the comments below. But as Namine and Kairi get caught trying to escape, out of nowhere, Ansem arrives, which is technically Riku. I'm gonna call him Ansem Riku or Riku Ansem, whatever you want to call him. Just call him Riku, all right? So Riku comes in, puts his hands on him. It's like, hey man, back away. He's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'll deal with you later, and proceeds to just disappear into the shadow realm. And then Kairi's like, oh my goodness, Riku, is that you? And already knowing, but for the most part, you forget that Sora has no idea who this guy is. We know as the audience, or like we know as the player, like this is Riku. But mind you, Sora fought Ansem in Kingdom Hearts 1, and it's very much like, why is my best friend, best childhood friend, hanging out with the known villain? But she also tries to jump in and save Sora, but it's like, dude, you have no weapons. But Ansem Riku, or just Riku, gives her a Keyblade, and it's like, wait, I forget people can do that in this game. But it's like, are we for real? This is crazy. And in my head, I'm like, there's no way we're actually going to play as Kairi, Riku, or Sora. I don't know if that would work, but overall, it was pretty cool. Like, seeing it for the first time, I'm like, dang, this is awesome. Even Maleficent and Pete get involved, being like, yeah, we're going to take this castle, or we're going to own it, all right? We can run these hands later. But as Sora, we have to do a boss fight against this sniper dude, and I despised him ever since Birth by Sleep, because my goodness, he was annoying. Now, to be fair, I didn't know how to reflect or parry properly, which is the number one reason why I was struggling so hard. But even still, this is annoying. Like, at least by Birth by Sleep, you can parry, block his moves to an extent, or shoot, like, block his laser beams. But from here, you have to either jump up or get lucky enough not to get shot, because you can try to parry, you can try to guard it, but it's very much like so long for like the animation, as well as like you can't really roll as you could back in Kingdom Hearts 1. But before we can complete the final area, we must do some spring cleaning, specifically finishing up the aerial side mission, which that was horrible, and also defeating the remaining Organization 13 data bosses. Now, I might be wrong, but I definitely got to go back into the Chamber of Remembrance. But no, the Shield dude, pretty annoying. He steals your data, then makes a shadow copy of it. The Scythe dude, we can personally run the hands. I don't care if I don't have a Keyblade or anything, man. I will personally beat that ass. But no, he was super annoying. He insta kills you if you touch any of his roses. But also there's like a timer reset, so if he hits you, it gets lower and lower. And finally, this dude, I despised him. I don't like the concept of like the cards and like the whole gambling aspect of it. It's cool, but like come on, man. It's annoying. But as I said, this is my personal opinion and how I view some of these bosses and my personal experience with the game. Overall, I have a great time with it. It's just my little complaints and gripes with the whole thing. But no, from here we go in, fight the organization member known as Zax. Zax? I don't know how to say this name. I can't read. But overall, it's very much how you face a specific enemy or his nobodies, which is, I just realized that too. A lot of their nobodies are the same nobodies that you fight to gain like elements and items and shards and stuff. So, like him specifically, there's like another enemy with a big sword that you can go berserk on and then just spam triangle repeatedly. I like that. It's really cool, good concept. Enjoyed a lot. I like the premise of it. Very much like, hey man, this is our nobody's nobody, but here's our nobody. You know what I'm saying, man? But from here, super simple, super easy. You just defeat him as well as catching up with both Mickey and Ansem the Wise, not Ansem nobody. Ansem the Wise. Ansem the Wise is nobody. It's a little confusing, but like I said, that's Kingdom Hearts for you, man. But from here, he tries to stop Kingdom Hearts from being active. His machine is going to blow up, so we all get the heck out of there. But he's like, hey, man, something random might happen. And that something random is Riku getting his original body back because he gave into the darkness. He now is out of the darkness because of the machine that blew up. And he was in the darkness because he wanted to protect both Sora and get Sora's memories back. That's why we fought Roxas, and Roxas beat Riku originally. And because Riku wasn't strong enough or didn't have the power enough to defeat Roxas to give Sora back his memories, he became Ansem, the nobody of Ansem the Wise. But the main villain that we're facing right now is Xehanort, but that's Xehanort possessing Terra's body from Birth by Sleep, which isn't until a few years later where we actually know the lore behind that. But primarily, this is Xehanort that we're about to fight, and it is golden. And I gotta say, this next section of the game is pretty fun. I liked it overall. I like the concept. I like the big, charades that they're doing. I like the big set pieces. Very nice, very detailed overall. And from here, we fight this gigantic ship. We get separated from Mickey and Kairi, unfortunately. But once we defeat, a phase of Xehanort, we then move forward, getting separated again, unfortunately, because the job's not done yet. We see a glimpse of both Roxas and Kairi, as well as Naminé, just like talking to each other, their ghosts of themselves, being like, hey man, I'm part of you, you're part of me. Let's just be one. All right, cool. As well as both Naminé and Roxas remembering each other, their promise back in the Twilight Town. And I gotta say, it's very sweet, very wholesome. I like how they both, can accept the fact that, hey, they're their own person, but at the same time, they are a part of Sora and Kairi. They're cool with each other for Naminé and Kairi, and then Sora and Roxas are cool with each other. And then the final battle happens. I'm not a fan of the whole run and gun missions where like you gotta shoot the aircraft down. Not my cup of tea. Not to mention that you do face this big dragon or this big monster, which is basically a knight sitting in the throne. You attack him, get buildings launched at you. Pretty cool, I will say. It's just I got scared because I thought I crashed the game because we fell off the map, and I thought, oh man, I gotta reset this entire level. This super sucks, but no, you just gotta repeatedly jump and then everything was reset. But we are on to the final section, which, my goodness, thank God it wasn't the 6-phase battle that you had back in Kingdom Hearts 1, because I would have lost my mind. I had a lot of fun playing this boss battle. I might go back and replay it, not the whole, shooting stuff or like the whole tower nonsense, but no, I personally love fighting against Xehanort as both Sora and Riku, because you do play as Riku. You do. It's very fun. He's very similar to Mickey with his like button layouts, but at the same time, this section where I had to pause for a second because the first time I did it, I didn't realize you had to press X or triangle for both Sora and Riku. I thought you had to press one or the other, but no, you had to constantly spam triangle or X, and then that's how you defeat him once you get him low enough. But man, this was super fun. I could see why it's one of the best games out here. Plus the story it's given, the continuation from both Kingdom Hearts 1 and it's it's good. All right, go play it. If you haven't, go watch someone play it. If you don't got the money for it, just go watch someone play it. Go watch me, an idiot, talk about this game because I am a very much casual gamer. And from here, we are lost in the darkness. Now, I played Birth by Sleep first, so I know they're not going to be stuck in here for long, but just the payoff of the portal opening, the world of light showing, and then them going back home. It's very, very sentimental. And I got to say, it's just beautiful. It's a very good game, and it just makes it sadder kind of watching the ending of it, as well as unfortunately recent events happened in the world, and voice actor actress Hayden Panettiere unfortunately passed away. She was best known as Kyrie, as well as other TV and voice acting roles such as Heroes, Claire Bennett, Nashville, Juliet Barnes, soap operas, One Life to Live, and Guiding the Light, as well as voice work for Remember the Titans, Scream 4, Scream 6, voice acting A Bug's Life, Zuri in Disney's Dinosaur, and as I said previously, Kyrie in Kingdom Hearts. It is a great tragedy that this happened, but may you rest easy. Thank you for everything that you've done throughout your career, providing joy to millions, if not billions, of people. And yeah, thank you so very much.